Hello dear students, I, Dr. Anuradha Goswami, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce from the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, welcome you all for our Module 3 of Unit 1 for the subject Auditing. In this module, we will be learning about preparation to be done before auditing procedure. Now, all the preparation to be done before auditing are being divided into 4 parts. First function to be performed by an auditor is scope of work to be determined, then knowledge about business to be acquired, instruction to be given to the client, and there are few preparations to be done by the auditor himself. Now, take a look at our first step, that is scope of work to be determined. In case the auditor is going for auditing of those institutions for whom it is not mandatory, like sole trader or partnership firm. In this situation, the auditor should get in black and white from the appointing authority that what is the extent of his work, so that later on they cannot blame him for negligence. In case if he is being appointed as an auditor in the joint stock company, then he should go for doing his preparation as per all the provisions mentioned under Indian Company Act 2013. After determining the depth of the work to be done, the second step to be followed by the auditor is to acquire some basic information about that institution where he is visiting as an auditor. So, he should acquire some knowledge about that particular business. For example, if he is visiting a joint stock company, he should go through certain documents like Memorandum of Association and Article of Association just to know in little depth about that company. If he is visiting a partnership firm, then he should go through the partnership deed. He should also take a list of all the books of accounts being maintained by that particular business organization and who are the people who are maintaining these books of accounts. If there are any technical terms to be used in this accounting book, he should familiarize himself with those terminology. Also, if he is being appointed for the first time as an auditor, he should go through the profit and loss account and the balance sheet of the previous year, and should ensure that if any objection has been raised by the previous auditor, has the company done any correction regarding it or not. Now, we will talk about step number 3, that is before visiting the organization for doing the actual auditing work, in order to save his time and money and energy, what is basically required by the auditor to be done is he should give few instruction to the client, so that major of the task that is to be done by the company itself is already done, so that he does not lose his precious time. So, he should ask the owner of the company or he should instruct to the head of the accounting department that they should total up and prepare their trial balance, and their final account should be ready. Vouchers should be serially arranged and kept in a one file. They should prepare the list of debtors and a creditor. They should also prepare a list of bad and doubtful debt. Similarly, if there is any outstanding or prepaid expenditure, they should keep a list ready. What is their method of maintaining their stock? Then, if the company has invested their money, then a list showing the cost price and the market price of those investments should already be prepared. If there is any goods being written by the branches or the agents, a record should already be maintained about it. What is the status of their permanent capital, that should be prepared by the company. If, for example, there is some deferred revenue expenditure, a list should also be prepared for that. Now, take a look at the fourth and the last step to be taken by the auditor, and that is known as preparation by the auditor himself. Now, again in a fourth step, there are various things that has to be done by the auditor and his team. Now, all these works are being aligned like first distribution of work, then preparation of audit program, audit file, audit notebook, audit evidence, and then audit working paper. Now, take a look at the first subsection of this fourth step, that is distribution of work. The auditor has a team of clerks working under him. So, under distribution of work, normally an auditor divide this whole work of auditing. The basic calculation and addition part is being given to the junior clerk, and verification and vouching, terms like this or functions like this, has to be done by the senior clerk or by the auditor himself. Then, before actually visiting the organization, our auditor is required to prepare a blueprint of his auditing procedure, that is known as audit program. So, basically through this document, what actually auditor does is he tries to find out what is the depth of the work to be done under this auditing procedure, who is going to do which particular portion of the work, and then within what time limit his team will complete those tasks. So, that has been mentioned in an audit program which function like a blueprint. And then he do prepare audit files. in which he keep the data about the organization where he is going as an auditor. Though these audit files are being divided into two parts, permanent audit files and current audit files. So those documents which need not be updated each and every time, so those data which is of little permanence nature, then that can be put in a permanent audit file, and year wise data being maintained by the company can be put in a current audit file. Now there is another preparation to be done by the auditor and his team is to prepare an audit note. Normally this audit notebook is being prepared by the clerks of the auditing team. So whenever they are observing anything, they have any query to be asked, they have to seek any clarification either from the officials of the company or from the auditor himself, all these queries is being noted down by the clerks in the audit notebook. Another tool that is there for an auditing team is Audit Evidence. So under Audit Evidence, normally help out the auditor to find out the authenticity of all the accounting transaction. So these evidences help the auditor to frame his opinion about the financial condition of a company. These evidences can be in the form of personal inquiries, observation, verification done by the auditor or inspection done by his team. So all these evidences are being collected by the auditor and kept by his team. Then another thing that has to be prepared by the auditor and his team is audit working paper. These paper and documents actually contain all the details about that organization which is undergoing the audit. And then whatever the important fact and detail about that organization are being kept in the audit working paper. Basically, the object of audit working paper is to control the current year's audit and to provide a base for the audit of the next year. And all these audit working papers are, even after the auditing procedure is over, being handed over to the auditor and his teams. So dear students, with this we come to the end of our module 3 unit 1 of auditing. I hope all the topics mentioned in our unit 1 are comprehensible to you people now. Thank you very much.